The world needed a safer trampoline. Dr. Keith Alexander, inventor of the spring-free trampoline, wanted to bring the joy of trampolining to his daughter. His wife said they were too dangerous, so he invented his own. Spring-free trampoline is the world's safest trampoline, with no springs or hard edges. Now, parents can have peace of mind that their kids are outside jumping safely. To learn more, visit springfreetrampoline.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your wages are being garnished. We can stop that now. It's hard enough to pay your bills when things are good, let alone when a big chunk of your take-home pay is gone before you even get your check. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, and I can stop the garnishment and get the creditors off your back immediately, often the same day as our consultation. Both Chapter 7 and 13 provide bankruptcy relief, but choosing the right chapter is crucial. In a free consultation, we can create a plan to get your finances back under your control. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle, and we've teamed up with Mary's Place. We're doing Kicks for Kids again. Oh, yeah. Kids need those shoes on their feet as they go back to school. And you can help us out, Rockaholics.
Last year was such a great success. It was surreal just seeing how many shoes that Rockaholics were able to raise enough money to buy so many shoes for these kids. And Mary's Place were so stoked. But this year, BJ, we're going to try and get more shoes for more kids. I think it's going to be a pretty awesome experience for them.
Yeah, we're trying to raise about $40,000. And last year, I mean, you really came close to that. So I feel like we can do that this year. And you want more info? You want to get those kicks on those kids? Every dollar counts. Go to KISW.com to donate today.
Let's play Beat Mix. It's time to play the game. Yeah. So everybody scream his name. Beat Mix. Don't be a loser. Whoa. Beat Mix. You're a loser. It is time to beat Mix.
But it's Wednesday, so maybe there'll be a whacking of Migs instead.
Whack it.
Oh,
Whack it.
Oh.
Is the box on?
All right. Let me see.
Oh, there's Mr. Wacky.
There he is.
Woo.
Whack it.
Scared there. We need Mr. Wacky.
I don't know if
Thought he left us.
I thought I had to go home if that was
Yeah. Sorry, I have to go home. There's no Mr. Wacky today. Yeah. Let's get to our contestant. We've got Chris in Seattle. Chris, are you there?
I'm here.
Excellent.
Hey, I'm out in traffic. I'm right by your window. Can you see me?
Flash your lights. Flash your lights and honk your horn. I can't see you. Oh,
wait. I think I just saw somebody flash their lights. I don't know if it's you or someone who's pretending to be you, but they're flashing their lights. That's awesome.
Everybody on I-5, flash your lights, and we'll just... Oh, no, I just saw another one. I think there are people listening to I choose to believe.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing.
I just saw another flashing of lights, or that's the sunlight. I don't know. I can't tell anymore. All right, anyway.
You're seeing
I'm distracted by it. I'm looking out of the freeway. We got to play this damn game.
What's next? We're going to have firefighters honk their horns? We've become children.
Yes. Truckers out there. Truckers, do your horns. I'm doing the arm thing. No one can see me. Steve, can you get out of here? I'm all over the place. For those playing at home, Chris will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Chris, you can pass all you want, but you'll only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Deep Blue Sea was a film about what type of genetically engineered creature?
Shark.
Yes. How many U.S. states share a border with Mexico?
3, 4, 5.
4, yes. What was the first name of the wife of JFK?
Jackie.
Yes. What TV network was home to the TV show Gunsmoke?
ABC, NBC,
No.
CBS.
CBS, yes. What was Lori Loughlin's character name on Full House?
Aunt Becky.
Yes. How many seasons did Gilligan's Island have?
7.
No.
6.
No.
9.
No. Who is the current president of the UFC?
Sorry, say that again?
Who is the current president of the UFC?
Is that, Dana White?
Yes. Finish the title of the Afro Man song, Because I Got What?
Hi.
Yes. Groundhog Day takes place in what month?
February, January.
February, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, correct.
All right, not too shabby.
No, he did really well there. And hopefully you were blinking your lights, and I hope people are still out there blinking their lights or something, and see what's going on out there. And while Steve gets back in here, I don't see any more blinking lights or any honking. I can't even hear the honking horn, so everyone needs to do this.
You are really, you are all over the road with this.
And they're all over the road, too, yeah. Good job. I like that one. Steve, are you ready?
Oh, yes.
Deep Blue Sea was a film about what type of genetically engineered creature?
Shark.
Yes. How many U.S. states share a border with Mexico?
3.
No.
2.
No.
1.
No. What was the first name of the wife of JFK?
Jackie.
Yes. What TV network was home to the TV show Gunsmoke?
I don't know, BJ. Will you remember that one?
Hey, no lifeline here.
NBC?
No.
CBS?
Yes.
Good job.
What was Lori Loughlin's character name on Full House?
Aunt Becky?
Yes. How many seasons did Gilligan's Island have? 3? Yes. Who is the current president of the UFC?
Dana White.
Yes. Finish the title of the Afro Man song, Because I Got What?
Hi.
Yes. Hello. Groundhog Day takes place in what month?
February.
Yes. What English singer had the 70s album Goodbye Yellow Brick Road?
Elton John?
Yes. And Steve, you win 9-8.
Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah.
Snuck it by you there, Chris. Sorry, man.
You did it. Oh, sorry, Chris.
It's all right. That was a good game. Have a good day.
You did a really good
All right,
game.
you calling again, Chris, because I like Chris's style. I'm not going to trade him away like the Mariners. I want to keep him. He's a good player.
Yeah, if you get rid of him, I'm going to trash the clubhouse.
BJ just over there playing fantasy beat Migs all the time.
Yeah, well, I got to get a song, and Chris is the closest I think I can get to it on a regular basis. He gets some good games.
Yeah, he didn't get the Gilligan's Island one, unfortunately, and didn't get to the Elton John question.
Remember when we were at Vula's and BJ pulled a Gilligan's Island on his own kids to the waitress?
No.
We were at Vula's and BJ's introducing all of us from the show to the waitress because she listens to the show. And he's like, oh, this is Danny, this is Rez, Steve, that's Vicky, and these are my kids.
Oh, that's right.
He did the and the rest to his own children. Didn't even call them by their own names.
Yeah.
And technically, he didn't even introduce me. He just left me out completely. I'm one of the producers of the show or something.
You were one of the kids.
And the kids.
Yeah.
I didn't introduce you, Vicky. I didn't say you first.
How rude.
Oh, I am so sorry
I remember
about
I was
that.
about to say hi, and then I'm like, oh, wait, no. He didn't say my name, not yet. And
I
then I'm
guess you
just
got to
like,
go back to Vula's to
kids.
introduce you.
I'm fine with that.
Or BJ could just officially adopt me, that too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, at least I said my kids. I didn't even put Vicky in there, unless I put Vicky as the kid. I don't know.
If he doesn't adopt you but paid your cell phone bill, is that good enough?
That's all I want.
Yeah. Okay. See, that's what she's looking for. Well, She wants to be part of the gravy train, I feel.
Not me.
The only one you happened to miss, Steve, was how many U.S. states share a border with Mexico? Chris got that correct. Maybe you'll remember
4?
someday. 4, yes. Yeah, more than one, but...
Well, I mean... Crazier things have happened during Pete Meigs.
Crazier things have happened. Like what? They're going to change the borders? They're going to move California? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
All right. fair enough.
Yes.
Okay, then.
Well, congrats on your win.
Good job, buddy. There you go. Isn't it wild to think that Gilligan's Island only had 3 seasons? As popular as that show has been, it was syndication, because 3 seasons is, in some cases, considered a failure. Like
and also wasn't it back in the day that if you didn't have 10 seasons, you weren't allowed to be syndicated? Remember they had like that kind of weird
yeah, and I don't know how then Gilligan got to go past that. That's a good question, Steve. I don't know how they were able to get syndicated if they only had 3, because they were obviously all over the place.
Maybe they were before all that happened.
Yeah.
How many episodes?
You might be right.
How many episodes was 3 seasons?
I mean, maybe sometimes there were 30 episodes for half-hour shows. Sometimes it would be like in the 30s that they would have them do. Which is a
98 episodes.
So, yeah, that's almost 33 a season.
Or was it 100? Maybe you needed 100 episodes to get syndicated. Was that what it was? Maybe
that's what I had always heard.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I think I got it confused. So there were 2 episodes short of that. So maybe they just figured it out. Or to say, hey, what about our specials with the Harlem Globetrotters and things?
According to Wikipedia, you either have to have about 4 seasons worth or between 80 to 100 episodes.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, that's right in there.
Yeah, and back then they did a lot more. Now you're lucky if you get 24 episode seasons out of any show. But back then they grinded it, man. Especially those half-hour comedies. They were in the 30s, like sometimes 36 episode seasons.
Could you imagine, though, like if you're like a binger and you're like, there's this new show called Gilligan's Island on Netflix. Let me check it out. It's 30 episodes for the first season. I bet that would detract some people.
You may be right. Yeah, you'd be like, okay, unless you're really... I'm a guy that goes, all right, there's like 30 episodes. Great, I'm going to be watching forever.
It's when you know it has like 7 seasons, 30 episodes long. That's my problem with Natural. There's just way too many.
Oh, yeah, I got to get into that show. You told me about that. But you haven't started watching it either?
I'm on season 5.
Oh,
like
all right. That's not horrible. Nice. Well, we've got a reason, and I want to find out if you've got a reason, because we sometimes got a reason why we stop rooting for our favorite team. Perhaps maybe it's a trade they recently made. Matt Damon just shared why he won't be rooting for the Patriots, and he's going to tell you why at 7:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. It never grows old.
Nope.
Oh, it really does.
Team America, baby.
Oh, yeah. I got to watch that movie again.
Just for the sex scene alone, right?
With the marionette puppets? Oh, dear.
Yeah. Matt Damon is known for being a huge fan of all Boston area sports teams. That's true. And he was just on the Dan Patrick Show and shared that there would be one instance where he would not root for the New England Patriots.
If the Bucks played the Patriots in the Super Bowl, who would you root for?
Tom Brady.
Okay. All right. Hey, it's great to talk to you again, and thank you, Matt.
Go Bucks.
Go Tom.
How about that?
Wow.
Done with the Patriots.
Yeah. I mean, how about he's that big of a Tom Brady fan that the guy transcended like the team loyalty.
Right. I feel it, man. It was like that with Steve Garvey for me. I was a Steve Garvey fan. I love the Dodgers.
That's true.
I'd root for anyone who had a star player named Steve, which is what got me hooked on the Seahawks with Steve Largent. But with the Padres, they picked him up, so I became a Padres fan. And now, I just after Steve left baseball, I didn't know who to root for until he moved to Seattle. And
yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. You got to find a Steve. Hopefully a big Steve doesn't show up that you start knowing.
Well, now I'm not a child anymore. That was my child decision.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm an adult. I make
that's right.
logical decisions.
Yeah, you're not a child anymore. You're right.
But it made me think of your son, because your son also a Patriots fan. I was wondering, if it's the Patriots versus the Bucks in the Super Bowl, who would you root for?
Oh.
Would you root for Tom Brady?
God, I think I'd have to root for Tom Brady. I mean, it's a real tough one, though.
Oh, yeah.
So then you're just a Tom Brady fan.
Well, I love Tom Brady, but I also love Bill Belichick, but I don't like Cam Newton, and we re-signed him, so I'm on the Tom Brady bandwagon at this point.
Huh. What if it's not Cam Newton as quarterback?
And it's like someone I like say Aaron Rodgers miraculously made it onto the Patriots.
Wow. That's a big dream right there.
Massive wishful thinking, but you never know.
Yeah, then I'd probably root for the Patriots. Oh, but man, I'd hate myself doing it.
How funny is it that Tom Brady is that huge of a star that people are willing to give up their lifelong allegiance to a team?
He is the GOAT, though, dude. I mean, seriously, the best quarterback ever. I mean, I think you just got to say that. You just really have to say that. You know, going and winning that Super Bowl with the Bucks, where no one ever thought they had a chance. No one thought it was. I mean, nobody ever really gave the Bucks a serious opportunity all last season, I remember. And he wins the damn Super Bowl against the team that everyone thought was going to roll over him. Yep. And, you know, so, yeah, I can see people loving that guy so much, you'll root for him wherever he is. Wow. So that would make me change allegiances, I guess.
It's the lukewarm topic of the day.
Or a guy named Steve. You know, one of those two big reasons.
Steve Garvey, baby. Wherever you go, I'll follow.
Aww. So Matt Damon just shared, along with my son Joey Dees, that they're no longer loyal to just the New England Patriots, and it's all because of Tom Brady. Based on this, and it doesn't just have to be for sports, okay? It could be anything. When did you switch your loyalty or fandom, and why? 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. When did you switch your loyalty of fandom, and it's not just about sports? And tell us why after Blind Melon on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Matt Damon just shared that he's no longer loyal to the New England Patriots, all because of Tom Brady. So
and
based
your son,
on
too.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's right. He's not loyal to the Patriots because of Tom Brady and my son. You're right. Matt Damon gave him up because of my son. I know. Yeah, Joey D said that he'd have to root for Tom Brady if it was a Bucks versus Patriots Super Bowl. And we're wondering, how about you? And it doesn't have to be just for sports. It could be anything that you used to be loyal to, but then you made the switch. Why did you switch your loyalty or fandom? 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Let's go to Joe in Chehalis. Joe, you are on The Rock.
Hola, de chola.
Hola, Joe, hola. Don't forget the men's room afternoons right here on The Rock. What you got, Joe?
So when I was growing up as a kid, I was a Chevy guy, a Chevy kid. My buddies had Chevys. They had like 63 Novas, Chevelles, Camaros. And then I got into junior high and high school, and I fell in love with the Mustang.
Oh, yeah.
And I always told myself I was going to get myself a Mustang no matter what year. And when I turned 21, I bought myself an 85 Mustang GT. 302 HO, and now I have a 96 F250 truck. And then my son also bought himself a 91 Ranger.
Damn.
And now he just bought himself an 86 Mustang GT, and he's only 17. So
Dang,
now
dude.
we're just a big Ford family, and Ford till dive.
Do you have, but let's see, are you really a Ford family? Do you have the decal of Calvin relieving himself on the Chevy logo? Because otherwise you're really not a Ford fan.
Yeah, you're a poser otherwise.
On my Mustang, I have Calvin peeing on the Chevy logo.
That's right. There we go.
Wow, called
That's
it.
There we go.
Time to get
All right.
father-son matching tattoos.
You're official, my friend. That is awesome. It is pretty wild, that Ford-Chevy rivalry.
It's hilarious, dude.
Yeah. And I'm not a car guy, so my brain never understood it, but now I do. It's just basically tribes, because I mean, you got the Star Trek, Star Wars tribe, so I completely understand the Ford-Chevy tribe as well.
No, even speaking of tribes, someone said I switched from being a KISS fan to a Led Zeppelin fan when I was old enough to recognize real talent. LOL.
Ooh, shots fired at Steve.
It is. I never stopped. I'm always going to stick on Team KISS, even though I don't disagree. Obviously, the more talented band would be Led Zeppelin.
Was there Team KISS, Team Zeppelin? I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. It's funny. I don't know if this guy's just taking a shot at me because I've shared the story before, but where I was growing up, you were either a KISS fan or a Zeppelin fan. It was like one of those dumb Ford Chevy type things. Like you like both, but one you were more of a fan of. It's not like a sports team, obviously, but you were just like, okay, I like you, and you would argue and debate which band was better, and I was always on Team KISS. But the older I've gotten, I realize, okay, now I get why like my brother's friends and all the older people that I was arguing with thought I was just a complete idiot because, well, I mean, Zeppelin's on a whole other level.
Yeah. Well, look.
Still would rather listen to KISS or see KISS than Zeppelin. Not going to lie.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, look, yeah, no doubt about it. Musically, yeah, sure. But I mean, KISS revolutionized how to do a show.
Yeah.
So, and I think they deserve some credit for
Jimmy
that.
Page's tongue wasn't long.
Yeah, no, it
Come
was.
back to me when he is.
Wow. Try to perform. What was it like? Was it like 50 pounds of wardrobe?
Yeah.
Is it like that heavy?
And I think 30 pounds of it is the cod piece.
Yeah. Try to perform in that there, Jimmy Page.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Yeah, you see that.
I like this one. Somebody said I was dating a girl in Arizona. She introduced me to hockey, and she was a huge Blackhawks fan. They won 3 championships. And then after we broke up, I stopped watching until the Vegas Golden Knights. But now we've got our team, so go Kraken. Yeah. So he's bounced from 3 different teams.
Well, I could, I mean, if somebody romantic turns you on to anything and then all of a sudden they're gone, I could see you going, yeah,
F that team.
I'm done. F that team. I just.
How hard is it then for him to see if he was a Vegas fan that they just traded Marc-Andre Fleury to the Blackhawks? That probably.
Oh yeah, that
had some bad memories.
That had to be a kick right in the D.
Yeah,
yeah,
dude, it's so funny. There's a bunch of Toronto Maple Leafs fans because they consistently lose in the playoffs. No matter how good they look they're going to be, they find a way to f it up. Like they're always like the laughing stock in a sense. There's a good number of Maple Leafs fans that have decided to say, F it, I have officially said I'm done. I'm now a Kraken fan.
Wow, really?
I think they decided to pick the Kraken because of just the timing. Like your team continues to disappoint you. Here's a brand new team, so you can just jump on board from day one. So I think we have a few we're going to be rather popular in the Toronto area because people have given up on the Maple Leafs.
I used to do that, dude, because your team was so bad. And I did that with the Red Sox. They were so bad for so long in my life. Really, for 15 years of my life, they stunk. And then they had 1 year where they did something. And then I had to wait another 11 years after that. So I adopted the Oakland A's. And the reason I did is like they weren't in my division. They weren't in my, and so. Right. The Kraken will not be in the Leafs conference, so you can kind of root for both teams and be okay unless they happen to meet each other in the Stanley Cup. That's the only problem you might have.
Yeah, I mean, because that's what I expect. Dude, I mean, I legit had to spend like several days in my own head because I'm a weirdo. But like debating about which team would be my number one. Would it still be the Devils or would it be the Kraken? And I really like factored in all these different things. And I finally had to be like, I need to make a decision for myself. Like no one else cares.
I think I know the decision. It's
tattooed on me.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, that's the other part. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, okay, you're right.
What do you think the decision was? You thought it was going to be like
I thought it was because your team did stink just like the Leafs for so long that you would go with the Kraken.
No, it has nothing to do. I started liking the Devils when they stunk, so I've been through the ups and the downs of that. I don't care about. I'll root for a crappy team. I have no problem with that. But I was like, you know what? This is my home team. This is the team that I want my daughter to be a fan of when she grows up, and and I know that we're going to have a relationship with the team. Just inevitably we'll have players on like we had already. But like I was just like. I'm always going to root for the Devils. They'll be my solid number 2 team. But like some people are like, well, what happens when they go head to head? I'm like, I'm rooting for the Kraken, man.
Yeah, see, that would be
my
tough
own
for
team.
Me.
It was very tough, dude. This was like taxing to me.
See, for you, I don't know. I feel. Here's what I feel like. I feel like the New York area loves their sports, but just has other things going on because it's such a big city. There's other things going on where Boston. Sports was the biggest thing. For some reason, it was the biggest thing. There was no other celebrity activity that could really just, topple sports when it came to popularity. And that's why it's tough for me to say, like, and especially with baseball, I don't think I could ever not be a Red Sox fan. And we've had a lot of players go. Like Mookie Betts was one of my favorite players, and he's no longer. But I will not be a Dodgers fan. I that's why the whole Brady thing is hard for me to understand for some people, because I will always be my team fan. But that's because I just loved baseball and I grew up with it and it was my thing. And, it was like everybody was a fan. So I don't know. I think it's just a crazy, crazy sports town thing. Cause I think everybody else is like you, Steve. They're like, you know what? I can make a move, especially since now, like you said, you live in this town. This is your team.
And be able to see the games more often. As one person said, I'm a lifelong LA Kings fan. Now that we have a home team, Kraken's my 1A team. Release the Kraken from Mike and Bothell.
Nice.
Release the Kraken.
All right, Danny, how about you there, buddy? Anything that you used to be a fan of and then you switched?
I'm not. It's that
Fall Out Boy to My Chemical Romance.
You're not. You're not obviously wrong, but it's been over the past few years. It's been Offspring hasn't been my number one favorite band anymore.
Is it MXPX?
It's MXPX.
They're the home team.
Yeah, well,
they are the home team.
Yeah, it's the home team, and then it's also just the fact that Dexter's 58 years old. Like they're getting old, and
ageist.
Well, no, but just like watching their live show, they kind of have gotten boring. It's the same exact show every single time. Whereas MXPX is still releasing a ton of new music, doing crazy things like with their live streams and everything. So it's kind of like, you get kind of tired of seeing the same show over and over again. So I'd rather see MXPX live than I would The Offspring. And it's hard for me to be like, The Offspring isn't my favorite band anymore. But they still kind of are. And it's like, I go back and forth.
It is fascinating that The Offspring were a lot older than their fans.
Yeah.
It's very, very fascinating to me because when you told me how old Dexter was, I just would never have believed he's not that much younger than me. And I'm like, wow, but his audience, they totally is not my audience. Like I wasn't listening to that music, but you were. And geez, Danny, I mean, 58 years old. I can see where you go, yeah, this guy, I don't know. He's not appealing to me anymore. Yeah. I can understand that.
Well, and sorry, Dexter's 55. Noodles is 58.
Jeez,
I got that wrong. Sorry.
Wow.
See, I'm not even a fan anymore.
Not a big fan. Wow. When you were a big fan, you would know these things.
Yeah. Wow,
I bet you know Mike's age from MXPX.
I don't know.
What kind of fan are you, man?
Gosh,
not even a real fan.
Yeah,
I even know how old the Kraken are.
Oh, yeah. Do you? How old are they, Steve?
I'm 1 year old.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
So it's
206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. When did you switch your loyalty or fandom?
So I grew up an Angels fan, but when I met my husband, I wanted to impress him. So I said I was a Mariners fan because our first date was a Mariners game. I started rooting more and more for the M's, and now I'm a bigger fan than he is. Ha ha.
Oh, isn't that nuts? Yeah. I love when stuff like that happens. And yeah, that's too bad she's not an Angels fan because,
she picked the wrong fork in the road, I feel like, we all done that.
God, it is. Why do we have to bring that back up? I'm so disappointed in that trade. God, that just makes, all right, anyway.
So their breaking point as a Bears fan, they said born and raised Chicago's Bear fan, but after they traded Peppers and Hester, dropped Urlacher and Gould and signed Jay Cutler for 7 years, I went out and bought my first Seahawks gear and never looked back.
Woo! There you go.
Smoking Jay.
Yeah, I mean, my family can't. It's almost like you've basically just betrayed the whole family. They don't understand after over 20 years living in Seattle why I would be a Seahawk fan after like the relationship we had and the players we've had on the show, and this is my team that I've lived with for 20 years. Well, why aren't you a Patriot fan? I'm like, they just can't get it, and it's like, well, and. I'm happy that I became a fan when I did because I got to see them rise from nothing and not being able to sell the stadium out and blackouts to having, two sets of winning years, the Hasselbeck, Holmgren years. And of course now, I mean, it's, I feel like I was ground floor, even though obviously I wasn't here in the 70s when they started, but it felt ground floor.
The suffering year of Jim Mora.
Oh, God, Jim Mora. Oh, my
At least it was short.
I like this text. To piggyback on the Kiss versus Zeppelin guy, I grew up a Mariners fan, but then as I got older, I also recognized actual talent. Go Dodgers.
Ouch. Well, again, it's a National League team, so you feel like you can kind of root for one of those teams because you'll never have a conflict unless they're in the World Series or that random time where we're playing them, for a little series. It's a safe thing. I F the Dodgers. That's how I have to say things.
You watch your mouth. You better not mean that during the Steve Garvey years.
I don't think anybody was. Well, they were
champions.
Good then. They were good then. Yeah. All right. I thought you were talking about the Padres for a minute. And they were pretty decent, I think, with him as well.
They went to the World Series.
Yeah,
and the rest of the stupid Detroit Tigers. It's part of why I just don't like Detroit. Tigers.
Yeah. Oh, is that part of why you don't like Detroit?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll keep that in mind. Okay, so we've got another sports story here where did a coach of a pro basketball team once punish his entire team all because they did not have an iPhone. I'll tell you all about this at 7:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How much does bankruptcy cost?
Well, bankruptcy costs, of course, vary depending on what type of case you're filing. There's a certain amount of court costs and other out-of-pocket costs that you're going to have in any case. The filing fees in a bankruptcy case are about $300, whether you file Chapter 7 or Chapter 13. One of the things to watch out for when you're shopping for bankruptcy attorneys or looking at the different cost options is that a lot of times, especially the really cheap places, don't tell you up front about all the court costs and whatnot that you're going to have to pay in addition to the attorney fees. So make sure that you get the full picture when you're comparing prices of bankruptcy lawyers on what the attorney fees are, how much your court costs are going to be, so that you can really make a true comparison.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com.
Want to create a lifetime of memories this spring? Do you remember the joy of jumping as a child? If only there was a way your own kids could experience that same joy safely. Spring Free Trampoline has been engineered to eliminate 90% of product-related injuries. The Spring Free design boasts no springs and a flexible enclosure and proudly offers a 10-year warranty. That's peace of mind. Lock in your ultimate backyard safe space before summer arrives. Visit springfreetrampoline.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.